In this battle, we're taking on Ender Hyper XD, and as you can see here, we have a pretty cool looking team, fairly unique with the Poliwhirl and the Golurk, which I do definitely like to see. That's actually a cool Pokemon to consider trying out if you're trying to do a playthrough, since it's accessible somewhat early on, around like I believe the Rose Cove area. And you can get a really cool ground ghost typing from that, which can be pretty useful. I guess the Pokemon itself isn't really too great, but I mean, if it's a playthrough, it doesn't really matter that much. It's more so about having an enjoyable experience. So let's go ahead and lead with the Wicca-Walt. I did actually explain what this team was. I actually forgot. I have not done that here, but it was an earlier battle, and what happened was the person left after like 2 turns, so it really just wasn't, I guess, worth it for me to keep commentating, or to even use that for YouTube. So let's figure this out. He's gone into Blaziken. The plan with this is to set up Sticky Web, and the reason that is there is because first someone actually requested Wicca Wall, but also because it facilitates the Mega Heracross here. And this one here doesn't really have that much speed investment. That's probably going to change actually. I don't think this is going to be enough speed to outspeed Pokemon even with the Sticky Web. Although once it does get going, it has Substitute, Close Combat, Rock Blast, and Pin Missile. And I might change Substitute for Sword Stance, or maybe even Pin Missile. I'm not too sure. I'll have to figure that one out soon. The rest of this team, this is re-requested. This might have been re-requested. I'm pretty sure it was. It has entry hazards. That's kind of what I want to get going. I want to have a team that has entry hazard support. Now this one here has defog, so this Moltres actually shouldn't. It should just be fully defensive, but I gotta get that one changed later. So anyways, let's actually make a play instead of making this guy wait. I'd say Tapu Fini is quite an easy answer. Even Moltres actually. Maybe I shouldn't have gone into Moltres, since I could have got a little bit more value out of that one, especially if there's like a Sword Stance variation. So he's gonna go for the Overheat. Yeah, because they can probably get Stone Edge or Rock Slide or something like that, but he really has no way of touching the Tapu Fini. So actually no, this would have been a better answer, especially if it had like Haze instead of Defog or Taunt. So let's go ahead and fire off a Nature's Madness. It's gonna actually stay in. Okay, that's a relatively good coverage option actually, because it hits this and it also hits flying types. So that really does make a lot of sense for a Pokemon like Blaziken. Well, we don't really want to have to eat up another one of those, so maybe I'll go into Goodra, although I don't know if that's the right play, because at the same time, I mean, I think it will be though. I don't know. It's probably not that wise. Yeah, it's probably better to just let Tapu Fini take some damage here. Let's go ahead and Moonblast. Maybe that does more than Nature's Madness at this point. I don't know though, we'll see. I mean, it probably does, but I don't know if it's going to do enough to knock him out. Hopefully it does. Okay, that's nice. So maybe I should have started with Moonblast rather than going for Nature's Madness. I don't know. I don't believe it would have been a one-shot, but I'm actually not too sure on that one. So Tyranitar comes in here. We don't necessarily have to switch since we can hit him for super effective damage. Although, do I want to? Ferrothorn does make a lot of sense actually. This color combination is actually the ugliest thing I've ever seen though. The green, the brown, and the yellow is not a nice sight to see. Like Goodra's in comparison is a lot nicer actually. Like this blue with the red and the yellow and the dark blue. I like how that looks. It's interesting. I don't know if anyone ever thinks about that, but I definitely do. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get a Nature's Madness. I think this is a trade that I want to make. So I mean, Tyranitar can be quite annoying. Okay, that is insane. I've never seen a Tyranitar running that attack, especially with the Sandstorm. It's gonna be mad inaccurate, but you know, that's alright. He gotta do what he's gotta do. I think it's Wicca Wall time. Or actually, no, it's not. It might be time for Heracross. Yeah, I like that idea. I'll just go ahead and get a Pin Missile off. You might switch out, but I mean, there's not really an easy way to switch into Heracross, or at least Mega Heracross, especially if one has Sword Stance or Substitute. Then you can kind of get that set up, and then whatever comes in, if it doesn't outspeed in one shot, is bound to take a lot of damage. because I don't really believe there's a way to fully resist all three attacks between rock, fighting, and bug. I don't know though, maybe there is. But we will pick up a KO here on the Tyranitar, which is nice to see. Alright, let's see what comes in next. But yeah, I mean, Heracross is definitely a cool setup, and if you all want me to change it up, I definitely can vary the moveset. So this right here is actually quite a good switch in. It's really annoying. I do remember one time in random battles in Pokemon Showdown I was playing. I've been trying to climb the ladder a bit just here and there just for fun. But I do remember the opponent had Mega Heracross, and I really didn't have a switch in, but I did have Salamence that could intimidate and then switch out, because you can't really stay in on Rock Blast, but if you have a Pokemon that is somewhat bulky, but not bulky enough to take on Heracross without an attack drop, then you can use Salamence and then pivot into it. So I would pivot into Salamence when I predicted like a pin missile or a close combat, get the Intimidate off, and then when he went for Rock Blast, I bring in a different Pokemon like Gastrodon, which is what I had at that time. Anyways, let's actually figure out what we're going to do here. I think it's Moltres time for this one, because if he attacks, he's going to risk a potential burn. Even Ferrothorn kind of makes sense. I don't know. Probably not though. We don't really have an easy switch in on this one. Let's just go into Moltres. I don't know if it's Moltres or Moltres, but you know, it doesn't really matter for this one. So, I mean, the idea is that we can get a burn potentially. I'm probably just gonna fire off a Z move if I can. If he does something like a Dragon Dance. I don't believe he one-shots, even with the +1 or whatever his attack is. Return. Yeah, he goes for Fire Blast actually, so that's not something I expected, but that is definitely kind of nice here. So yeah, let's go ahead and wow, we have 3 different options here for a Z move. That's actually funny. I don't know what Z Defog or Z Roost would do, but I believe it's Supersonic Sky Strike time. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. He's gonna withdraw, which is unfortunate. But Poliwrath is 100% gonna die. Yeah, like this is not even a chance. I'm pretty sure that yeah, it didn't even have to be a Z move. Hell, it probably could have been a resisted attack, and it probably still would have one-shotted Poliwrath. So yeah, there goes Poliwrath. A waste of a Z move though. But you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of worth it if you pick up a KO, no matter what the KO is. So yeah, we'll take that. Shiny Moltres is actually kind of fire though. Or I mean, I don't like the pink, but I mean, like, I like how saturated it is. Like, it definitely doesn't look bad. It could have been a better shiny, but it's like not a bad looking one. You all get what I'm saying. Let's just go ahead and fire off a Hurricane here. So I mean, at this point, I think we can just go ahead and start finishing things off, like this Golurk here, which shouldn't have a good special defense stat. So a Hurricane should be hitting relatively hard. And had this been a Life Orb set, it probably would have been even stronger. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Hammer Arm could burn. It's not really gonna do anything either, and it does burn. So maybe here I get a bit greedy and I go for a Roost, since he's gonna be guaranteed to die next turn. So we may as well position ourselves better, especially against the Salamence coming in. And maybe I'll go for a Mystical Fire actually. If I actually don't think I will do that, but it wouldn't be a bad option, since it would be guaranteed to lower the damage with the Fire Blast that could come out from the Salamence. Although I probably won't go for that, because you're probably going to get more value out of just taking the Hurricane in. So yeah, Salamence comes in. Let's go ahead and Hurricane on this. Zen Headbutt. He's going to probably burn himself. Oh, no, he doesn't. Yeah, that is a lot of damage. That's actually more than the Golurk, actually. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is. And we get the Confusion, which is nice. So if he doesn't take us out here, he's probably going to go down to the Mystical Fire. Alright, yeah, I kind of feel bad for him though. He did get a bit unlucky. Although at this point in the game, it probably wouldn't really matter, since I have like a whole team left and he only has one more Pokemon beyond Salamence. And he was at, you know, a pretty low level of HP, so it wasn't really going to save him much. And it's a Corviknight, unfortunately for him, so he could actually survive, but I'm banking on the fact that he doesn't. And even if he does attack, we have Pokemon that can outspeed and hopefully knock this out. So he does live, which is interesting to see. And that unfortunately it's not enough to take us out. Although the confusion could be what it does, or what does knock us out. And actually, I might be wrong. Does Guja outspeed? No, it doesn't. It does not outspeed. Or actually, I believe it does, but yeah, so that would have been the solution. Now, have in the situation that he has Roost, he can go for it. And that would be pretty effective. And I apologize for all the stuttering today. It's like relatively late for me, so I'm kind of sort of dying right here. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and go for a Roost. If you can actually get through the confusion. Alright. Potentially we might land a burn. I'm pretty sure we survived this, although I don't know. We'll find out right now. We don't, but now we can just go for Mystical Fire. If we can get through the confusion and actually knock him out. Okay. If he goes for Fly again, that's just gonna be annoying. Okay, there we go. So that's fine. That's an alright outcome right there. Actually, I'll go ahead and go into Future so we can give it some game time since it hasn't actually been used today. Let's go ahead and go for a Flame Trevor. And this set right here was viewer requested. I don't know if it's the most ideal one, but it definitely is cool having Water, Electric, Fire, and Dragon type coverage in the same set. So yeah, if we're gonna get the Flame Trevor off, that most definitely should knock out the Corviknight, and it's active too. So yeah, that right there is gonna be GG. Good game.